We turn now to Mississippi, where 6 white former police officers who called themselves the Goon Squad have pleaded guilty to raiding a home and torturing 2 black men earlier this year, after first trying to cover up their actions. Some of the officers face life in prison.
Entered the court shackled in chains. Each officer received from 10 to 20 years for the January 2023 abuse and torture of Michael Jenkins and Eddie Parker.
Some 40 kilometers southeast of Jackson, Mississippi, is the village of Braxton. On the night of January the 24th, 2023, Michael Corey Jenkins visited his friend Eddie Terrell Parker at his home. The night would change their lives forever.
Didn't work that day, so I was just down there sitting with them on the couch. I had just ate. I was about to sleep really, and I heard them booming. It did about 5 times.
A white neighbor had complained that 2 black men were staying with a white woman at this house. Shortly after, 6 white Rankin County deputies burst into the house without a warrant.
When I come in, I heard them saying, "Get down," seen the flashlight, and already knew what it was in. I knew it was the police. And, you know what I'm saying, it was a bus.
Like I said, when I come out my room and I saw, who it was, it was the officers, and they was, went to screaming and telling me getting down. I remember, like I said, we got handcuffed off top. I mean, that was the first thing they did, It didn't sound like it was gonna be a good night. They didn't come to play Ring Around the Roses with us. This is where most of it went down, as far as the torture session. It went down, mainly in here. Like here, you can see the stains there. It's from the waterboard. I remember getting tased off top, and it was I've never been tased before. Like I said, I've never did anything to warrant being tased. So I could say that's probably what made me pass out.
Racial slurs and kicking me and punching me and tasing me all at the same time. It was all of them on me at the first. All 6 of them. One right here, they was surrounding me. And one of them kicking me, and 2 of them had tased on my back here. And one right here in front of me kicking my head and punching me. And that's when the waterboarding started. And chocolate syrup, oil, milk, liquor, wine, whatever they can try.
After some 90 minutes, an officer shoved a gun in Jenkins' mouth while he was handcuffed.
They brought him in the room where I was, sat on the couch, and he was looking at me, I was looking at him, and we sat there for a minute, and he pulled the trigger.
I was right there in front of him, and it was like seeing a gunshot, but not hearing it. I never heard it, I was too close to it, I guess. But I saw it, it was like slow motion, you could see the bullet, coming out of the gun. The fire coming out, and it just, I saw from, like I said, the exit of the bullet, from the gun to the exit of the bullet out the back of his head, it was horrific, man.
Did you think you were gonna die?
Yeah, I thought I would.
Hey, bro, he said, I'm dying, man, I'm dying. I said, man, I finally snapped back. I was like, Mike, man, you all right, bro? I said, you'll be all right, man, you gonna be all right. I said, just hold on. So they got me up after that. And they took me around the back of the house. I said, man, they gonna let him die. They was trying to let him die.
Miraculously, Jenkins survived. The bullet lacerated his tongue and broke his jaw before exiting his neck.
I remember getting the ambulance, I remember riding the ambulance. I remember it started getting cold. I told him, I'm cold. And he threw a blanket over me.
The officers devised a cover-up that included planting drugs and a gun in the house. The Rankin County Sheriff's Department then supported the deputies' false charges, which stood against Jenkins and Parker for months.
I watched them back there in their little circle, you know, they was coming up with their plan, you know. They come out to me and, you know, trying to get me to go along with what happened and all that. And I'm like, you know, first I wouldn't understand. I'm like, what? You know, no, I mean, the audacity, you know, like, come on, man. And then try to shake my hand after. You know, come on, man. I mean, I tried to tell you, if you want to shake my hand, that was the ultimate disrespect, you know, to try to act like it was all a big misunderstanding.
Jenkins' mother and father, Melvin and Mary, received a call saying their son had been shot.
We actually thought he had died. My husband left to go to university. He said, Mary, he said, prepare yourself, because I don't think this is going to be a good, yeah, I'm sorry, but so I watched my husband leave, and I was trying to prepare myself, you know, for him to come back and tell me Michael was dead, you know, because they went out to the house and they saw all the blood, and, you know, that I just, you know, and we didn't know anything. I was trying to prepare myself to never see my son again, but
I was scared and grateful to God that he was alive, because you could see that he had been physically abused. He had breathing tubes, feeding tubes, and just hooked up to all kind of stuff hooked up to him, and you could tell that that he had had a lot of physical abuse.
My mama saying, Michael, if you can hear me, raise my hand. I heard it. And that's when I started waking up.
when we tried to talk about it, he would just start crying, you know, because he was trying to speak and he really couldn't speak. We had to just communicate through writing.
Really hadn't given any explanation why he shot her. But the only thing they said is he bit down on the gun and the gun went off. And I was saying, how could he bite a gun? I mean, why would he bite it? What I was asking, why is it in his mouth to start with?
When we brought him home, he had to sleep with the lights on. He had to sleep in the living room. And he had to sleep with the lights. He would just wake up, sweat, his clothes would be wet. He would just wake up. And he was saying he was just reliving what happened to him.
The stuff that he told me was horrific. I mean, the stuff that, you know, that you wouldn't think that one human would do to another human.
Still going through pain. Really can't eat in my jaw. Still have nightmares. Speech. Traumatized. It's messed up. There's this light right here and this down past like it just would. Every time we get to a certain part, I break down, I get mad. All over again. Yeah. Start crying.
His jaw, man, when he eats it, kills him. It's just pain. He'll grab his jaw and just grimace with pain when he tries to eat.
His eye, he can barely see out his eye. We have to tape his eye closed because of the nerve damage on that side of the face. He can't close his eye. So every night I have to put tape on his eye to close it. Whenever he gets sit down to eat, he just sit there sometimes because he's just afraid to take that first bite because it's so painful. He just hold his jaw and just go down. So, you know, although his scars have healed, his inner scars are still there, and they probably will be for the rest of his life.
The group of deputy sheriffs involved were notorious for using excessive force and were known as the Goon Squad. That night, the officers made a promise they would kill anyone who told the truth about what happened. but pressure elsewhere was beginning to be exerted. A U.S. Justice Department probe began examining the case in February 2023. And then in June, one of the officers came forward and confessed. All 6 officers were either fired from the force or resigned. In August, all 6 former officers pled guilty to numerous acts of racially motivated violent torture.
Like a pile of rocks lifted out of me, like the sun came out, like.
It was weight lifted off, but weight, you know what I'm saying, that was still on me. I didn't know what I felt, you know, I really didn't. I only thing I could do was cry, you know. It was, I got validated. I felt validated for what I was saying.
In March 2024, a federal judge handed down prison terms to all 6 officers. The prison terms ranged from 10 to 40 years. U.S. District Judge Tom Lee called their actions despicable. An Associated Press investigation found that several of the deputies involved were also linked to at least 4 other violent cases with Black men since 2019 that left 2 dead and another with lasting injuries.
Your Honor, please take these crimes by the Goon Squad seriously. Today, the judge in this Circuit County Court has given out justice to the Rankin County Goon Squad and have brought them to justice in front of the world here today in the same location where they have harmed many people. They were brought here in prison outfits, prison uniforms, and they're all headed to jail for a long time.
That's right, man.
And so what happened in this courtroom today is significant. And Mississippi has spoken here.
Yes, sir.
This is Mississippi.
Yes, sir.
This has never happened in Mississippi.
This is Mississippi.
Justice has come in Mississippi. What has come? Justice. And when has it come? Now. Justice has come when?
Now.
Everybody's sworn this whole oath to uphold and protect the law, but none of the 6 officers there, even up until the point the gun is being shoved in his mouth, which his tongue was shot off, nobody said, no, don't do that. Michael Corey Jenkins will never have a normal life. He'll never be able to talk. He'll never be able to eat through his stomach. Some semblance of justice is for them to go to prison for the rest of their life so they can think about every day what they did wrong.
Despite the horror, this was ultimately a fight and a victory for justice.
That let me know that justice, you know, is justice. You know, it gave me a brightened horizon on knowing that the sun will be coming up soon. It'll be coming up in your neighborhood, you know, also.
It made me feel good that it happened to me, because it happened to me for a reason, to bring other folks' cases that, you know, swept under the rug out in the light as well.